All right. Hey everybody, how you doing? Hope you all doing great. So what I'm about to do is just show you guys some projects that I've been working on, some research, some analysis on using AI in Google Gemini, and I've come up with different things such as how to create a prototype of a website and then how to actually I just wanted to show you guys how to use prompt engineering and how to use Google Gemini and AI how to use AI in Google Gemini. So let me just share my screen right now so I can show you guys. This is Synapse AI Advisory. I am Muna and I am a business software business analyst. And this is something that I do as far as analyzing software. And the last two projects that I worked on are for enterprises that wanted to implement AI into their softwares. So give me a second. Let me just pick a screen to share. It's going to have a really weird effects real quick, but hopefully you guys can see my screen now. Okay, you guys can see my screen? Okay, so like I said, this channel, it's Synapse Tech Advisory. If you see anything about Kiki and technology, that is still the same. It's still me. I'm just changing the name of the company because Synapse just makes more sense in regards to what a software business analyst does, because we interpret the information from the software to the developers to the business and back and forth. So this is so today I just wanted to go over. I did a video before that I haven't posted yet, but I did a how to use AI in Google Docs session. So this is just me reviewing it. So I will post that video. And also I'm just going to show how to create longer documents on Google Docs. And so make sure you go back to that first video when I posted, okay? Because it's just like giving you like this, how to use the features on Google Docs to start writing there with AI. And then also, I'm going to present you a website. This was really cool. I did this last night and it's so cool. A website that I created using Google Gemini oh my God. So I use a website as Arlen Hamilton's website as an example, and I was able to create a prototype website. So what prototype means it's not in production, but it's a really good website that I can still give it to you guys to use to get you to links that I want you to get to, but it doesn't have the functions that I fully want. So it's a great one to take if you want to find developers to help you build a software, but it makes it easier for them to understand versus you talking and trying to explain it. The visual and the prototype is so much better. So that's really cool. I'll show you guys that. And then also, I'm going to try to go these quickly because it's a lot of them and I can talk a lot when it comes to these things here. And I'm also going to review an AI that I created, a slide deck that I created using Google Gemini and also using Canva. And also just a quick review of, I've been doing tech research for tech in Africa, and I just wanted to kind of give a quick view of what that is starting to look like. Okay, so let's just get into it. This one, like I've said before, I'm going to post a video where I went through this information. You might be hearing some banging. I'm very sorry if you are the building next door, but structure and information. They just started. I swear, as soon as I started this live stream, that's when they started banging. Oh my God, I hope you guys don't hear it. But if you do, I'm so sorry. I'll redo this again. So I'm just going to go over this for now. So I'll go over this through quickly and I'll come back if it's a lot of banging in the background. So this is just what we went over. It'll make a lot more sense if you go back to the video once I post it. So I promise I'll post it within the next 2 days. Okay. I need to edit it first. That's why I just went live because I'm like, the whole editing thing is taking time out for me to actually post it. But so I just showed how you can convert a block of meeting notes into bulleted lists and how you can also take the long article and have it being summarized where Gemini can summarize it. So it can show you if it's I'll show you, give you a preview of that. And also I just give you some tips on how you can bring up Gemini, like here, where you right click and then you can bring the custom and the rephrase. You can do all these things in your text to edit. And if you want more AI capabilities, you can bring up Gemini here by clicking Ask Gemini. And now you can ask more questions, get more things created, highlight, just prompt engineering. You can prompt it to build out your document. So this is the sample of notes and create a bullet list. So this is the meeting notes that we took, and the list that we created is just right here. It took it, that long notes, which was a transcript, and created this cleaned document here. This is something that is a lot better to send out to clients, the group after a meeting, and then this block that you have here, and you're trying to figure out how to write in meeting notes. If you are a business analyst, you know we write a lot of meeting notes in the meetings that we are part of, that are our projects. So this is really effective. See all of that got turned into this. So that was in the video that I showed, that I'll post. And then we also went over this one where we took a long article and summarized it for quick comprehension. So this is a long article. If to look at it, it's over here. This is the article itself. So I did two different ones where it's a block of summary you can add here on Google Gemini. They have that feature where it summarizes. Or if you I wrote out the prompt myself and got it to summarize it this way. I do prefer this method better than this block here, because the block stays like this. This is just a picture of the block. But the block, it's helpful, I guess, in a sense, if, I don't know, you want to have a block that constantly updates. So something like this, I think it might be helpful, where you click insert, building block, AI summary. So this is what I mean by the block. It's just like a quick summary and overview. So you can't really customize it the way you want, but it's a summary that stays there. And then you can refresh it as you add more things into the document, but I accidentally deleted the information. So let's go ahead and undo. So that's the review of that. And then that's what we did last time. And then so next I'm going to show you how to create a longer document using Google Docs in Gemini. So the same place that we just did that, Google Docs in Gemini, we're going to go ahead and try to create this longer document. And that one is a document that I just started. It's to highlight the upskilling of business analysts. So it's a document that's like kind of a report. I did get this by prompting it in, I prompted this here in, no, this is not where I prompted it. But anyways, I prompted it in ChatGPT and I got this here. Key skills to learn for AI business analysis. So the way that you would start building this out, like you can either start by writing down your own thoughts and questions and research that you may already have put together. So let's just say this is research that I started putting together, but I got the outline anyways from ChatGPT because it's easier. And just as a disclaimer, when you're using AI and large language models to do research, it's very important that the topic you're doing research on, is something that you have knowledge on. As far as if you want to be sure that the information is correct that the AI is giving you, because if it's not, now you're just also in a guessing game with the AI, because the AI is giving information based on research. If it's built that way, based on data from the internet, if it's built that way. So like ChatGPT, like this one, it pulled it from the internet. Now, if I was using a different application like Notebook LM, which is this one, it only pulls from a set amount of data, your knowledge base here. So it's not pulling from everything, but ChatGPT here, when you're using them, it's important that you have the knowledge, but if you don't, also be aware that the information that they give you, if I don't have knowledge of a business analyst, I can't write off and say this is correct, but I do have knowledge as a business analyst. So this document that it gave me, this outline, I can go through it and say, okay, this is correct, this sounds right, this sounds right, this sounds right, you know? Like I wouldn't be able to validate it like that if it was saying upskilling, I don't know, pediatricians, because I'm not a pediatrician. Anyway, so that was a disclaimer that AI works with you, not does the work for you. At least this report generation here, the documentation. Anyways, let's bring it back. Okay, so this is one of them here. So if I wanted to fill this in more, I can either type in my own responses or fill in my own spaces, or I can have Gemini help me out to do it. So I'm going to do a combination of both. I think the way to get the best value out of it, if you want to do it quick, you can do it very quick, especially if you know the information, the knowledge, you can do a quick read through it and then you're like, okay, it's good to go. But if you want to tailor it to something specific that you want to like communicate in the document, type out what it is that you want to add. So understanding AI concepts, machine learning, NLP, computer vision, generative AI, And for me, I'm going to add data availability and data quality. Yeah, for me. Um, know what AI can and cannot do, classification, regression. Um, I'm just putting these here just as a way to show, like, okay, you can also just use it as help to combine your knowledge, like that adds so much more value to it than Go. But if what you need is like, hey, give me an answer and go, that's fine. But this is how you can work with it and do that. Familiarity with model types, classification, regression, recommendation. Okay, that, let me see, knowledge. I don't know if this is one of them, but I'm just going to base NLP. This was a major one that I've worked with in a past project. That's why I'm putting it. Knowledge based NLP search. That's a major. I don't think that's a model type, so let me not put that there. That's just a use case. Basically, what I'm talking about here is Notebook LM, how you can create a database, a knowledge base, and search it using natural language. Prompt engineering, LLM skills. So this is the document anyways. It just highlights the skills, key skills to learn as a BA, because as you know, BAs, we are also going to get affected by AI coming in. I've practiced and seen how we can use AI to create documents in that we already create, like, and requirements and use cases and diagrams and prototyping so much faster. But the great thing is, like, if you already have the knowledge of a BA, it's going to be even better because now you know how to use it and also verify it. Well, you need to learn how to use it, but you know how to verify it because you already have information of how a requirement should look like, how a wireframe should look like, or what things need to be added and removed, because sometimes it's going to give you a lot more than you need, and sometimes it's not going to give you enough of what you need, as far as when you're asking questions and getting help from the AI to create your documents and create your flows and things like that. Prompt engineering is major. Like, this is something I'm definitely going to be teaching and focusing a lot on this. Like with Synapse Advisory, prompt engineering is important because it really helps you to get things to work with you with the models. You need to be patient. You really do. Like the website that I created, the prototype one, I had to be really patient. But with prompt engineering and knowledge of how to combine the text and the screenshots and the directions and everything, it really helped me to at least get it to a version that's I'm proud of showing. So learn to design, test, and iterate prompts for tools like ChatGPT. Very true. Master zero shot and few shot and chain of thought prompting. This I found is very important. This reminds me of when agile project development, because it's like, okay, this, fix this, do that, add this. Like it's just going back and forth. A feature is added, it's tested, it's verified. It's added, it's tested, it's verified. That's what chain of thought kind of really is reminding me of. Data analysis and visualization. Yeah, I mean, it's more for people who are trying to go into data analysis. It's very helpful for all analysts to have, but it's definitely focused for the data analyst, which AI definitely has a lot of tools that I think Power BI is definitely implementing AI capabilities and Tableau into their applications. So the thing is, yes, AI is coming to take up some tasks that analysts do, but you can really leverage it by learning how to use these AI skills. That's why I wanted this document, just to kind of read through and see, okay, what are the skills? Because I'm seeing job ads out there for business analysts that are AI, enabled. So basic proficiency with Excel, SQL, Tableau. So it's nothing new with the tools. It's just how to use them now because they're adding features and AI capabilities, ability to interpret models, outputs, and data trends. So these are definitely things to have to like add into your repertoire. Requirements gathering for AI projects, learn how to elicit documents. So I can go through this whole thing, but I won't. I've already done it myself, and it's actually really good and like I think a good guide. It gives you a whole lot, so I don't think it's all the skills it's talking about that you need to focus on. It's I think good to be aware and then maybe focus on a certain skill that aligns with what you're already doing. So if you're more focused on document generation, focus on that, or if yours is more on the data analysis, interpretation, and visualization, focus on upskilling those sets. But this just kind of like lists the whole overview because as an analyst, we all actually have our own focus as well. Um, I didn't do much of data analysis, but I did more like the requirement generation and elicitation and those kinds and developing the software. Well, not coding, but in the development space with it. And creating training documentation. So for me, it's more document generation and that my focus was on. So yeah, requirement gathering, AI project. This is definitely like the key area for my stuff right here. Understanding data dependencies and training needs and learning to elicit and document these requirements. So these are them. So the way that you can now go ahead and do that is you highlight. Okay, for example, you can do the whole document, but I've learned that it's better just to do pieces at a time. Like, okay, let's go ahead and duplicate this actually to see the two different examples. So the whole document, let's right click and say, custom. Let's not bring it up. I think sometimes if it's too much text, it's not bringing it up. That's what I'm thinking is happening. I've been noticing that a lot. But let's see. If I highlight here and I click expand, no custom, refine, elaborate, what it will do is it will elaborate on what you highlighted. You see? Understanding key AI concepts. So I click insert. This is what I highlighted, which I'll now put in red. And this is what was put in. Usually, actually, I do put in the one that I might delete. So actually, I usually put in the one that I just added. That's what I'll do instead. No, actually, that's too much coloring. We'll just color this one. Okay, so this is what I usually do, red. And then just to kind of compare understanding concepts. So develop a comprehensive, so it expands it. So you see here, understanding concepts, machine learning, NLP, computer vision, generative AI, data availability, data quality. So what it does is it takes this and it expands on those things that it talked about. So understanding AI concepts, develop a comprehensive understanding of core artificial intelligence concepts, including machine learning, its various algorithms and applications, natural language processing for understanding and generating human language, right? Natural language, that has to do also with prompting. Prompt engineering uses NLP. Computer vision for interpreting visual information, and this is where I can take a screenshot of another website and tell Gemini recreate this website for me as a prototype. It can read the image and create the code to create that prototype. And then I have to do my own iteration back and forth. And the rapidly evolving field of generative AI capability of creating new content. Recognize the critical role of data availability in AI development and the paramount importance of data quality. Encompassing accuracy, completeness of consistency, and timeliness of building reliable, effective AI system. So you see, these are things that it wouldn't have added, data availability and data quality. It wouldn't have added this year. If that whole thing right there, it wouldn't have added it if I didn't type that there. And same thing as far as like the importance of human expertise knowledge. You see how it added it here for us. Um, Emphasize the independencies and the indispensable role of human expertise and domain knowledge, specific knowledge in guiding AI development, interpreting AI outputs, and addressing ethical consideration. That's what I was talking about when I said you having the knowledge in the thing you want the AI to create, the topic, is get very valuable. Somebody else can do it too, and they can present it to you and talk about it. But you have an insight and leveraging AI and taking that action for what it's advising you to do is good. Now, of course, I absolutely believe, and they absolutely already are using AI anyways to just make things commodity. Absolutely. So knowledge or not, it's still going to be used for people that don't have the domain knowledge. And I've created some things that I don't have knowledge in, but that's why I think for me it's very important to say the website I created is a prototype. Now, everything worked on it. I would say it's a website, but the things that I wanted in it didn't work. So I knew it's a developer needs to come and help me out with it. Okay, so this is just to see. I'll just leave this here because I want to go to the next thing. This is how you can really expand on your research when you already have an outline. And everything else right here, for me right now, I've just tested it in Gemini. I've used Canva for document creation. I like using like an actual document creation tool instead, like whether it's Google Docs or Microsoft Word. Canva is very visual, so it's really nice for that. So I think once you already have all your information set here, then take it over to Canva to do the style, you know, what it's really good for, and the graphics. So that's how you can expand. And you can also, I think, expand by doing this. So you can highlight here what I want. I have the chatbot. Expand on this section of the document. And I'm going to paste what I just highlighted, what I want it to expand on, which is this. And I like to use this here because it's a lot more guaranteed to show up than this one here. And I have more control of copying and paste over. But I just wanted to show you the different ways that you can use it. So you can either bring it in by the right click or click and refine. If refine shows up here, you can do that and type your prompt. So the same prompt I just wrote here, I can put here and it does it. Or I can just click one of these to rephrase. But why I like using this is if I put this here over here, like you see how it gave me the answer, now I can copy and paste. But let's say if I do that, the difference would be like how it's up here, right? And not to the side there. So it's just a matter of like how you want to interact with it. That's all. Okay, I wonder. I can't copy it. Oh, that's the thing. Here you can't copy, you just have to insert. Okay, so if we do this here, we highlight. Okay, so this is what we highlighted. No. I just wanted to see to compare what it brought up. Okay. To expand this section. So it gave different responses for the expansion here. And the main reason why that happens is large language models like these, the way they come up with the creation is that it's not like you see how I give the question, it doesn't give me the exact answer all the time, like the way a calculator would. If you put 2 + 2, it's always equals 4 on for that reason. But with this, it's because it generates it based on the next best token, like the most likely next token. So like when it's coming up with a sentence, it's like what's the next most likely word that comes up after this. So there's a higher chance of like the wording being different, but it's still communicating the same topic, the same point of view. You see how here it's talking about zero shot prompting, there it's talking about few shot, here it's talking about chain of thought. but the wordings are a little different. Like here, train of thought encourages LLM to break down a complex problem into a series of intermediate reasoning steps before arriving at the final answer. But here it's saying this technique encourages the LLM to break down a complex problem into a series of smaller steps before arriving to a final answer. It's just a slight change in wording, but it's not a different message. You know what I mean? Like here it says, understanding when and how to apply each of these techniques is essentially maximizing the utility. And here it ended, this can improve LLM reasoning ability and lead to a more accurate and insightful response. So you see it's slightly different, but not exactly the same. Not exactly the same, just slightly different. Anyways, okay. So that's that. So you just kind of go through the whole document like that. I would definitely suggest that's better. You can't even do it immediately. As we saw here when you highlight on Gemini, you can't do it immediately like that. I'm going to guess maybe on the standalone Gemini, you might be able to do the full expansion, but knowing prompt engineering technique, once you really get to understand it, you'll have a better, you'll see why it's just better to do it this way. Unless now you're using an application that's actually meant to just like one click do it all for you, then yes. But here in Google Docs and Gemini, where you have more control of what you want to change and when, this is how. So this is how I'll go about to clean it up. For example, like this section here, since I already highlighted this red part here that I want to remove, although I highlighted this, I want to keep this here for the, the section title. So I'm just going to remove this one instead, So there we go. Now my section 2 is done. Black. And I still go back to the same as section 3. I want to keep the title. So you see this section 1 and section 2 got expanded, and I just move on to the 3 and keep going and keep going. I can add my own specific things that I wanted to cover and then expand. So that's that. Hope you get that one. The next thing we're going to go review now is I'm going to show you the prototype of the website. This, I'm so excited. So this is a prototype that I created, and I use website using Google Gemini and the standalone Gemini app. And this is really good if you have an idea of an app or website you want to build. If it's a very simple one, I think it's good to go. You just need to find out how to get it hosted. Because one thing I did learn is whenever you make a change, the link changes. The one that I like. So I like the way Gemini created it first. Anyways, let me show you. Arlen Hamilton is a YouTuber who I really like her message. She gives advice on how you can get started in your business journey. And so I noticed that she has a website she created with Replit, which is an AI. It's an app that allows you to create your website with AI. So what I did was I took a screenshot of her website because I thought it was really cool. I haven't seen a website that's in production where it was built with AI. Although I know there are many of them out there, but coming across was really cool. So I screenshotted that, and then I took it over to Google Gemini. And then when I took it over to Google Gemini, I just told Gemini literally like, hey, let's create this website. That was the prompt that I put. And it did this. This is what it created. So you can't click on any of the links. It doesn't open up to anything, but this is what it created. And the image here, you see the difference. So it kept the style similar, but it's slightly different. It kept the text, removed the picture. What I learned now is with Google Gemini, when it's creating the app for you, a web page like this, it doesn't add images. For right now, it's not using images. It can use I think something called PNG. I don't know that one, but right now it's not working with images like the picture of her here. Or even if it's your own picture, it doesn't. I've tried. So it did that. That's cool. But I'm like, well, you know what? I kind of want to work on, I went different routes. I went the route of trying to like get a requirement document of her page first and then modifying it. No, that was a direct route, and that's fine. And I was able to change it up to make it look like the way I like. So this is the one that I just said you can click on around, but you can't open up anything, right? So that's that. That's that one. And then so I went okay, let me pull up, do a backtracking, get a requirement document in, and then change it to like what I want to show up. So now it's not showing her information, it's showing mine. And then Let's see. And I wanted to add links to see if things are clickable. And this is what it came up with in Gemini. Um, and it's pretty good. It came up with that in Gemini when I typed that. So it lost the style of like the pictures and the format, but the information it plugged it in, like, Synapse Tech Advisory, and even put in what I was impressed with was like it filled in this section of the offerings, like all this, right? All I did was type one-on-one course in YouTube, and it filled in all this. And where I did that was I said this was a requirement document, right? No, what did I put? It wasn't a requirement document. Oh, what I did was I asked Gemini to give me a list of the clickable fields. Here's a list of clickable fields in Synapse Tech Advisory offering SPA web page. That way I can ask it. And then I filled in change the names here. It had Arlen's information here. And like I gave it the link that I wanted to lead this link to, and all these other links, like what I wanted to lead to, and on the YouTube and everything in the blog. And so it created this and changed it. But what was it? Oh yeah, so here you see, all I put here was the offering was this. I just put one-on-one program in the website, and I put on course in the website, and I put YouTube in the website for the YouTube. And it was able to pull in information. I'm not sure if it pulled it from the links or if it just guessed, and it even gave me a suggested price of what I should charge. I think we'll go with it. Clearly understands the value of the information that I'm sharing. So yeah. All these worked. I mean, I had a little problem where one of the links didn't work, but it was fixed. So I think, let me see, is this it? No, I think it got deleted. That's what I was saying. Whenever you create a new version, it gets deleted. But I'll be able to show you guys. There's a copy somewhere. No, this is the Synapse. Okay, well, this is cool too. So this is where you see how I was able to change the information from Arlen's website to Synapse. So when you click on it, it comes up with the one-on-one booking right there. And then when you click on it, this one, I think I just had to go into the one-on-one booking because I'm working on the course. So that'll be available. But I just wanted to test that in the YouTube. It takes me to the YouTube. Right? Pretty cool, right? Okay. I'm so excited, right? That's really cool. So this is a really good prototype, but I wanted to just, change it up. I didn't want to copy her exactly. So I was like, let's switch it up. And this was unexpected when I did this one. So that, what I just showed you guys, was when I took it just from here and I added this. When I told it just to change, all I did was that change these here, and it gave me this, because that's all it did. But then I did where is it? I don't have the requirement document here, but there's a requirement document that I had it create, like really long, and then filled it in and everything. I have the document somewhere, but filled it and had a bunch of like stuff that is not really necessary. But there, function FRS, the function requirement document. So I had Gemini create the function requirement document, and so this is a lot more details. This is a document that system analysts create for the developers to create a software to code it. And then so I went through and changed everything to make it specific to Synapse, the AI advisory company. So go ahead and book your one-on-one if you want to, work with me to see what use cases are available and possible for you, or if you want to learn prompt engineer and I'll show you, or if you just want to, upskill your AI skills along with me, go ahead and follow this channel, okay? But or if you just want to see what project I'm working on also, because it's really cool, it's exciting. But let's be responsible with the AI that we're using. So I just went ahead and changed everything here. And when I did that, like I literally went through, that's when it gave me this version right here. I did that and I put it in and I told it to create the prototype for me, and it gave me this version. And then, so I went back and forth, did some iterations and did some changes. And let me see. Let me see if I can find it to show you guys. Like, this was like the process of changing things and how it's looking like and trying to get it to like, this is how I got it to look like at some point. Let me show you the final, like, let me just show the final copy instead of going through the different stuff. The final version of this is here on YouTube. So if you go on our YouTube description, if you click here, website built with AI, this is what the final version of it. So it's pretty workable, but it is a prototype. I'll just say warning, it's a prototype because I don't know how it's going to change. When I go in Gemini chat, and if I make any changes on this, the link here changes. So you have share and this number here changes. So there's somewhere, if I come back to this one, it'll bring us up and then somewhere it disappears. So it's temporary keep if you create a new one. So I haven't created a new version after this yet, but so we just got it to look like this, just nice. We just removed a bunch of stuff here, like as you see here, when it gave me this one version here. What did I do? All I did, like this is really cool. I just took a screenshot and put a circle around here. The circles, and I told it to remove them. I'm like, remove these, I don't want them. And it did. It removed them and cleaned up that space. So that's what you see right here. And I had it just to like, put this to coming soon. And when you click here, it goes to the one-on-one AI strategy session that you can book with me. And then we can, talk about your possible AI solution. Oh my God, I need to wrap the meeting up. I haven't recalled. Hold on a second. Let me just pause. I need to. Hold on. Well, let me just finish here. Sorry. So yeah, you can click there and then click here and it takes you to the YouTube. It's pretty cool, right? And then I had it add information here about the AI prompt engineering techniques, the most common ones, and the one that I did a lot of, I was trying to like create this prototype, was multi-shot prompting. A lot. Give it good iteration back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I had it add a link to the, just to embed a video from the YouTube here. And these quick links also work. YouTube, LinkedIn, the blog. Let me see. Make sure that they work. Yep, the blog, prompt engineering, LinkedIn to show you that I am doing my work. I'm legit. So yeah, so that was really cool. I think it's a really cool prototype. It'll be nice if you can take it to production, like to add it to to make it like my actual website. So I think that's one thing Replit has an upper hand. I'm pretty sure, and I hope that Google is doing something to make it possible. Right now, if I don't make any changes, this is good. While I look to find a solution. But what it's also good for is the fact that I can copy the code. So I have the code to this. It's an HTML site, so it's a very simple one. I have the code. So if you're interested in wanting this, if you want, I guess, directions of the simple directions of how to create your prototype website using Google Gemini, let me know. I'll put a link below, actually, and then I'll work on creating a link to put below. That way you can get instructions of, prototyping your Gemini website. So this video will be out before I do that, but it will be there, okay, within a week. So that's that. And then let's see. The next thing that I wanted to show you guys that's really cool though. The one thing I couldn't do, what I was trying to do, and that makes sense. That's why I keep saying it's a prototype. Prototype means like it's just the version. Prototype is like a version that you can use internally and like show developers, and like it's not full working, but it's showing what you want. So it's really good way It's a sample, like a sample of what you want your website or your application to be like. That's what it is. So I wanted to do was to see like on the course thing if you can send, and this was something that it suggested for me to do, to have people put their email so you can notify them when something is ready. But we weren't able to create the script to automate that. But that's that, and then yeah, that's it for that one. Agenda. So isn't that cool? Really cool, right? So review AI created slide deck. So this I'm just gonna go through really quickly because oh my god, I've been here for a while. I need to go. Review AI slide deck. So this was a slide deck. So it's a presentation I was able to create using Canva and Gemini. I do like Gemini's version better because I wanted it to be something educational, but I do like Canva's graphics a lot better. Canva's just good with the graphics. So I think if I took time to combine them both, like take the information, anyways, there's a way to blend it, but it'll have to be manual. So I just wanted to create a slide deck to expand on this topic here as far as, the value of prompt engineering in enterprises. And this is mainly coming from the fact that I think prompt engineering is really, really important. Like once you go through the process of back and forth and creating the prompt to have a template prompt, it will save a lot of time because that going back and forth when you're creating the first one, like the website, that took some time. I was very curious and wanted to see how it looks like, but it takes a lot of time. So prompt engineering is very helpful. I'm not sure where the full future of it is going to be. I'm going to be honest with you as far as prompt engineering because it's helpful, saves time, but like I guess at the end of the day, it's all about getting the skill and data to just be able to work on the AI stuff versus having the AI take over because it's not exact. It's not like when you say 1+1 is always equals 2. Prompt engineering, depending on the model, like it can give you different results and everything. So it's a good skill to learn and know. But I know for sure AI is just going to keep growing. There are many companies, many that are investing a lot of money into AI. So it's going to grow. It's a great skill to know and just need to learn the right strategies. It's not about having the most amount of prompts saved, but it is about knowing the strategy to see, okay, I want this created. Like I want a report. I want to create a report. How do I start that? Let me get an outline. Out to the outline, what do I do? Let me put in my thoughts and my research and my information into the outline. And then what next? Let me have the AI help me expand on this combined knowledge of the outline and my thoughts and my research. So it's just learning. And it's like, okay, well, what do I want the AI to create for me? Do I want it to create a table for me? Do I want it to create a website for me? Do I want it to create an infographic for me? It's all about, learning the skills of prompt engineering, but not so much to say, let me remember the prompts, So I wanted this slide deck created on Canva. It looks something like this, which like you see, it's very nice graphics. Canva does it all the time. Canva said, I got you. I just copied this prompt here to say create interactive slide deck with the following topics. And in Gemini, I did end up having to tell it that it was boring. I needed more color and that for it to change up and clean up the formatting. But on Canva, it was pretty right on. On Canva, when I did it, it did have some wordings I didn't really care for. It was like extra information that was really kind of useless. But I do like the very easy to just look at graphics and just very high level. I like it. You see, there was a page that I ended up removing because I didn't know why it was even there. It was a page filler. But yeah, pretty nice, right? Just like presenting to a large crowd, but maybe add a bit more details into it. And then the Google Gemini version was very detail heavy. Of like learning and transferring education, but it's very detail heavy. So if you tend to fall asleep in meetings, this is not where you want to go to the first meeting of the day. But look at it. I created this one using that same prompt on top. And then when I told it to, put a bit more color and change the formatting, this is what it came up with. And I click next. you go through the slide deck right here. You see generative AI landscape. What I did was, isn't it cool? I had it match the colors of the website. I took a screenshot and had it match the colors. So it did that a bit. Yeah, so the landscape, hype versus reality, AI captured attention, promising revolution. However, the true challenge lies in translating this raw potential into tangible business values. Without proper guidance, AI can be powerful but indirected tool, which is true because you can use it and waste a lot of time. Like you can do way too much research with this AI stuff and never use it, and a lot of people do, and I have. If you don't use it, it's really wasteful. It's a waste of your time, your energy, the time and energy of like the machines. It's a waste. Like when you say analysis paralysis, that is so major. Don't do it. And then learn how to use it properly instead of just thinking that you can put AI and slap it on everything. You can waste a lot of time and money, especially if it's like you're running your business and you want to put AI. Learn the basics and like, yeah, learn the potential, the raw one in your business benefits. Okay, so this was it's a really nice slide deck. I'll go over this. I'll create a video just to go over this and talk about it because this is a presentation that I want to do. That's why I created it in the first place. Okay. Let me copy the code actually because I'm not sure if I have the code copy. Oh, I do. The code is here. Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But you see here, this is where you'll have to go in and update things with prompt engineering tone. You see, it's saying this presentation explores how strategic prompt engineering can transform generative AI from buzzwords into powerful tools for business growth. It's when you're doing a presentation, you don't really want to point this out, you know? You just maybe want to start here. Strategic prompt engineering can transform that. You know what I mean? So this will need some changing, and it'll be a lot easier in Canva than doing it here. But if you know how to go into the code and make the change, you can just go in easily and cut that off. So that's that. One thing that I did want to add was that I wanted to add this feature, ask a question, but it's not working. But it's a feature where you're able to, and this was Gemini's suggestion to add an AI thing to it. First, it was like I don't even know what it was, but I was like, make it just a chatbot to ask questions. It's not working the way I thought. It's really kind of useless right now, but I just wanted to show you guys. And this is something that if I thought would be pretty cool. Like, okay, you have a slide deck, you send it to your client or somebody, or you're showing it and somebody has a question and you just live right there ask a question and it's able to create an answer, but it's very limited to just like the text on the slide deck that is shown here. So it doesn't pull it like from a true LLM where it can get the information from the internet and research that it's trained on. So I can say like, what is prompt engineering? You would think you would have the answer, right? Oh wow, I swear to God, it was not working. This is impressive, but it was not working when I did it myself. I swear it wasn't. The slide itself doesn't define prompt engineering, therefore the following answer is based on external research. It's working out because that's exactly what I told it to do, to let us know. Therefore, the following answer is based on external research as indicated by the internal search results, internet search results. Prompt engineering is a process of designing and refining inputs. Oh, that's really cool. I like this. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep on working on that to make it change the formatting and comprehension, but it's really cool, right? Without skilled prompt engineering, the output of these models can be unpredictable, irrelevant, and even inaccurate. That's cool. It worked. Okay, so if you guys want to test this one out, let me know, and I will share the link. If I don't hear anybody say they want to test it out, I won't share the link or the instructions, actually. It's the instructions that I'll share of how you can create your own. So go ahead and let me know. This is awesome. I think I'm done sharing this. It just goes through like I like it, right? Isn't it very good when you're just sharing information, knowledge? Yeah. Okay, so that's that. And then the final thing here that I wanted to go over, and then we are all done for today, is tech in Africa, because I've been doing so much AI research and I've been working in tech, and I'm just like, okay, I'm in the US and I know the tech environment in the US. If you live in the US, that's all I see in the news. But I'm like, what is going on in Africa with tech? Because I know it's definitely developing there as well, you know? So, what I do admire about the development of tech in Africa, I haven't done research in the other continents yet, but the solutions that they're coming up with, they are like solutions and that solve real life problems, like shortage in food distribution, and also in like the lack of access to medical care information and Medicare medical needs. So that's what I really like about it. So it's really inspired me to see if I can at least. I know right now I'm just like teaching prompt engineering, but at least what I share is valuable information for people. That way you can take it on to go and like make a difference. But I don't know, it's just had me thinking, because I've been thinking about these like fun tools and just like exciting things to play with. But I'm just like, that's not really the most responsible use of technology, especially if I know better, you know? So I just wanted to give you guys a quick, super quick, because I do have to go. So this is just a digital notebook of the two videos that I started watching. There were more text. I need to build it up a bit more, but it's just, I don't know, like, I just wanted to share this just to kind of like tell you, like, hey, go ahead and do research on AI and technology as much as you want and enjoy it, but there is a bigger world out there where you can actually use these and your knowledge to make a difference in our quality of life in the real world, in the 3D, not just in the digital. Um, so it's things like these, how there's like solutions for like a sustainable future. And I love the funny and like the creative solutions that we're using tech for, but I'm also very, there are people who are using it to solve, let's see, things like this, like it says Africa as a laboratory of the future. The necessity to solve fundamental problems in areas like healthcare, agriculture, and finance is fueling innovation and making Africa a test bed for future global solutions. I love that. Like, I'm so proud of that. Problem solving, innovation driven by necessity. Like, African tech development is not primarily focused in convenience-based apps, but in addressing critical needs due to existing infrastructure gaps and unique challenges. Like, I love that. Like, it makes me so proud. And like, these are the things I think I'm really happy about for tech helping out with, because I do have my thoughts where AI and tech is good, but also not that great. But I have the knowledge, I have the expertise, and I do have the curiosity to go ahead and play with these tools, because I've been that girl, you know, like AOL days, as we're all in the chat rooms trying to figure out how this thing works, and then you know you're doing your HTML coding on MySpace and things like that. But um, to know that it can also be used to solve medical problems and things like that, and people are actually doing it, it's very exciting and very promising. One gentleman, for example, Darlington, he is like a trailblazer over there. I'm pretty sure there's so many more of them. So I'm excited to learn a whole lot more about like other African technologists. So he's a scientist that uses AI to give Africans control of their health. So it's like giving them access to their health data, and they're just like creating a lot of these like tools through the AI labs that they're experimenting in. So it's exciting. So please, let's all go out there, analyze, and create tools that are going to make our lives better, not just to like save us like zero point 0.5 seconds from creating a document that we're never going to read, but maybe like to create a document that we've already read, that we know and understand, and now we just want to change it in a way where somebody else can receive this information that they're understanding, so they can learn and grow, or hey, solve the world food distribution shortage. That can be a great way too, because there is I forgot which country, but they have the drones distributing food around to people that need it, or like this gentleman here using it to create med like medical care solutions, you know. So I say that to say, have a wonderful day. We are done with the live stream. I've had a wonderful time with you guys here. I hope that you can go ahead and create, and just let me know. If you guys want access, like if I should create documents for the, if I should create tutorial documents for these things here. And well, that is all I have to say. All right. Well, you guys have a great and wonderful day. Bye.